Now I am going to start the next topic in unit number first, and this is the lecture number 4. So process principles. What are the different principles about the process? And we are already aware what is called the process. If any program is under execution, then it is called the process, or we can say the active program. Okay. Now, first you tell me, please, whether you are able to hear properly or not.
यस
Hello.
सर सुन रहे हैं.
Okay, okay, okay. So now there are few points which will come under the process principles. Now, first is the prescribes all major activities, uses resources within a set of constraints to produce intermediate and final products. May be composed of sub-processes. Each activity has entry and exit criteria. Activities are organized in a sequence, has a set of guiding principles to explain goals. Constraints may apply to activity, resource, or product. So there are various points under the principles. So when we will start our work, we will think over any project or any software, then we will concentrate over such points. Okay. So first we will draw the flow chart. We will write the algorithm for a particular software, and after it we will apply such type of points. So each and every program have the entry and exit criteria. Okay, from which point we will start our work and the finishing point or the ending point. Okay, so each and every process has a starting, that is the entry, and exit criteria. Okay, so it contains of number of activities which we will solve one by one. Okay, so number of problems we will face during the execution of our program after the final implementation of that. So first we will think over the designing area, and then coding, and then testing, and after that it will go to the market. Okay, so at each stage, we have a number of points. So first we will take the designing, and after that coding, and then testing. So designing criteria will also depend upon the number of models which we will follow during the implementation of a particular software or program, big programs. Okay. So during the implementation of the software, we will use a number of resources. Okay, so far we have already discussed about the number of resources which we will involve during the implementation uh, in case of the operating system. Okay, we have already discussed about the resources. The main resources are the CPU and memory. These are very important, and after that you are already aware file management. Okay, so memory management, file management, IO management, and CPU management. So there are a number of resources, but how will we use a number of resources? So here we will also concentrate over the uses of the resources within a set of constraints. So each and every resource have some sort of conditions so that we can use under those conditions to produce intermediate and final products. Okay, so during the intermediate means just we are checking several problems which we are facing, and after that, at the end, we will finalize our product. So at the intermediate level, we will check, and at the final level, we will again testify our program. Okay. So another point, the third one is the may be composed of sub processes. So at the starting or the initial stage, we will divide our task into several subtasks. That is also called the sub processes. Okay. So a software, or we can say the project, may contain a number of processes, and we divide each and every process into number of sub processes. Okay. Why we are going to divide our program or our project or our software into number of processes or sub processes? Because it is easy to manage. Okay, we can handle easily, we can manage easily, we can also testify the sub processes easily with the help of different type of testing tools. Okay, and at the initial stage we can also design and we can also write a number of codes for a particular sub processes. Okay, so a software contains a number of sub processes divided into number of sub processes for the easy management for the team of programmers. Okay, each activity has entry exit criteria. Okay, it is all right that whenever we are going to design the software, then each problem have some entry and exit criteria. Okay, how will start the work and how will we finish the process at the end or the software at the end. Activities are organized in a sequence. So we always organize the different processes, or we can say the tasks or the activities. We use a number of functions. Okay, so we check each and every function whether we are obtaining the correct output or not. And after that, we organized in a particular sequence. Has a set of guiding principles to explain goals. So it is also right that we always explain the different goals at each stage. Okay, so that whether we are able to fulfill the criteria which the user want or the organization want. Okay, so we always check the guiding principle to explain goals. Constraints may apply to activity. So there are several conditions which may apply to the activity or resource or product. So, number of problems which we may face during the implementation or during the designing, coding, or testing. So, there are several boundary conditions, okay, and which may apply to the different tasks or the resources. And resources, main resources are the CPU and the memory. Okay, so software development stages. Now we will think over the different development stages. So what are the different development stages? So first is called the requirements analysis and specification. So this is the basic, we can say at very initial stage when we are going to develop any software, then it has, or we can say it is divided into a number of development stages. Okay, during the design phase, what we face, then we can concentrate over such points. So these are called the development stages. So first is the requirements analysis and specification. So in this case, we will analyze our problem, okay, regarding the software or the project, and specify all those. We will note all those problems which we are going to design on a notebook or somewhere else. Then there are also the requirement analysis. So again, we will use some sort of processes for the requirement analysis. So what is the need and requirement of a particular organization or the company? First, we must know, or we must be aware by all those requirements. Okay. So on that behalf, we will start to design the problem. Number two is the conceptual or the system or architectural design. So first is the requirement analysis and specification. We will specify each and every point. After that, we will start the work at point two. Okay. Then conceptual. What is the conceptual? That is the internal architecture. Okay. Conceptual or system or architectural design. So here the design phase will start. So we will think here, or we will concentrate over the internal logic of the software. So here we will do the actual designing. Third one is the detailed or program design. Here we will elaborate our work, and then we will do the detailed or program design. Here we will design the program. Okay. So this is called the detailed design. Here we will break our problem into number of phases. Okay, and then we will study uh, in explanation mode or in elaboration mode. Okay. Another point is the unit and integration testing. So here we will divide the software into number of units. Okay. So into number of units, we will check each unit at their own level. Okay. We divide the software into number of units and we will test each unit so that it is easy to manage and we can check easily and debug our program. So whenever we will divide into number of small units, then it is easy to manage. After that, at the end, again we will integrate all those. Okay, we will combine all those units, and after that, finally, again we will check with the help of the I/O devices whether it is working properly or it may have some sort of error or not. Okay, whatever we are needing, we are getting the requisite output or not. Another is called the system testing or validation. Here we will, after combination or combining different units, we will get the uh, proper software. Okay, so here we will check the overall system programs. So after the development of the software, here we will check the whole software. So that is called the system testing. So whether it is compatible with the machine or not, whether software is working properly or not. Okay, it is fulfilling our criteria of the particular organization or not, or the users may have some sort of problems. Then first we will remove those problems as per criteria of the organization, and after that we will validate those points. Okay, if we have some sort of problem, then we will come over, we will remove those errors, and after that we will validate those points. Okay, so this is called the final testing, that is the system testing. But in case of the system testing, okay, uh, we can use the black box testing or the glass box testing. So there are several testing techniques or methodologies we will use. So complete one unit is on the system testing. Okay, so there are number of testing criteria how we will use at unit level and how we will test our software at system level. Okay, so there are several methods. Another is called the system delivery or deployment. So after final testing, the time will come for the system delivery. Here uh, we will launch our software, okay, and in the market, so that this is called the system delivery or deployment. We will do the deployment of a particular software after the final testing. So it is working properly and it is a user friendly and quality wise it is okay. Okay, and we will put a seal of the ISI mark, and for that we must have some sort of certification from IEEE so that we can launch our product mm, around the world. Okay, finally. So there are number of big companies which have the certification from the IEEE organization, and also there are some other organizations which have the certification of the only for the testing. Okay, there are some companies which are dedicated for the designing, coding, and testing. But there are other some few companies which do a particular task, that is, they have the work of only testing of the softwares. Okay, so there are number of software which are designed by some other company, and after that for the testing it will go uh, in another company. Okay, so they will use seal there, and they have the IEEE certification or some sort of other ISI certification, or we can say ISO certification, International Standard Organization. Okay, that is called the ISO 9001, 9002, 9003, 9004, and so on. So there are several organizations which have some sort of certification so that they can validate your software. Suppose you have the company and you are designing and coding, okay, you are designing and doing the coding, and after that you are unable to deploy your software. So after designing and coding, you will send to some other company for the system testing and system delivery and deployment, which have some already international certificates. And after that, the testing, they can deploy your product easily. So at the end, there is a major, we can say, the a stage is the maintenance. Okay, this is very important stage. That is the maintenance of a particular software. So we are already aware that we will use some sort of rules and regulation protocols which were developed by the IEEE organization that comes under the software engineering techniques. Okay, so whenever we are going to develop any system softwares or big application softwares, okay, that is dedicated for a particular organizations or the institutions, then that software must be launched by a particular organization under the we can say that IEEE rules and regulation or the protocols, so that the organization may use as a licensed version for a particular software. So we have to follow the system software engineering protocols, and then we can develop our software. So this is the main difference between the software and the program. So it involves, you are already here watching that we must follow some number of stages here. Now at the end, the main important stage is the maintenance. So to develop the software, it is okay, it is not so much difficult, but to provide the maintenance to a particular organization, it is a very challenging task. Okay, it is not so much easy. The just I am giving you an example. Suppose if you want to get a new dress, then it is easy. You can go, you can purchase from any shop, or you can go to the tailor, and then you can say that please prepare any dress for me. But whenever you will go to alter that, then it is very difficult. You cannot get that dress within the time period. Okay, as well as the fitness may also change, or it may take more time, as well as the requirement of the money also. Okay, but it is not necessary that you will be satisfied for that. So it is a time taking criteria procedure, we can say. And to prepare, or we can say to develop a new thing, it is easy. To construct a new thing, it is easy. Okay, it is not a we can say it is a economical method, but for the maintenance, it is a time taking and not economical. So it is very difficult because you know properly the technology is also upgrading, changing. Okay, so sometimes you want to obsolete that particular softwares, or we can say the hardware, but you do not want to do the maintenance for a particular that software or the hardware. So it is very difficult to upgrade those things. Okay, even though the technical staff as well as the programmers uh, do not have so much time so that they can listen your problem. Okay, even though you are uh, giving the proper money to them. Now we can say there are many variations on the name. You are responsible for the main categories above, and on the next pages. So we will follow another here. So here we can say the last stage is difficult. It is difficult to maintain or to provide the service for a particular software after few we can say years. Okay, after 2 3 years, then it is very difficult um, to be follow up the same software or the hardware for the upgradation. Now, whenever we will emphasize over the designing stage, then there are number of models which we will use. Uh, that is called the life cycle models. Okay. So whenever we are going to develop any software, then we must follow some life cycle model for the development. If we are going to develop any system softwares or big application software, so that we can use those softwares worldwide around the world, okay, on any machine, then we must follow the protocols of the IEEE organization. And also we will use the certification at ISO level, International Standard Organization. So first model is which we will use to design any software, that is called the waterfall model. So it is the first model that we will use for the designing purpose. So after writing the algorithm, after the implementation of the flow chart, we will use the waterfall model to design a software. So that's why it is called the major difference between the program and the software. During writing the program, or even though you are implementing your project, either it is a minor or major project, but you are not following any rules and regulations, or we can say the protocols which were developed by the IEEE organization. You are not following the criteria of the software engineering here. Okay, you are not involving those rules. So just you are writing the program in a hazard manner, and just you are checking only the input and output. Okay. So whenever we are going to develop any software, we always choose the protocols which developed by the, we can say, the IEEE organization. So the first phase is the waterfall model. This is one of the basic model which we will use. So waterfall model, this is the basic model, and we will use during the development phase. Okay, another is called the V model. Third one is the phase development model. And under the phase development model, we will study about the incremental model. Fourth one is the prototyping model. And the last one is the spiral model. So there are several models which we will use for the design purpose of the software. Okay. So we cannot implement the software like you as you are going to develop in case of the major or minor project. Okay, because you are not following any sort of model for the implementation or for the designing purpose. Okay, so you have to go to study about the various models and then apply how we will use such type of models for the implementation of different type of projects at your even at your level. Okay, if you are going to develop your major project, then apply some sort of models. If you want to develop and maintain the quality as well as the economy, if you want to take care of the quality as well as the economy, okay, then use some sort of models. So this is one of the basic model, we can say the waterfall model. And about the prototyping and incremental models, I will tell you in a very explanation mode. Okay, I will elaborate each and everything about the model, what are the different basic principles of each model, and also the several advantages and disadvantages. Okay, about the prototyping model and spiral model. Now, here you can see this is the first model. This is the block diagram for that software development life cycle. First is the waterfall model. Now you can see here in the form of the yellow boxes. Okay. First is the requirements. Now here we will discuss what is the requirement for the software which you are going to develop for an organization or for a company or for an institute. Okay. Then we will collect all those requirements, and after that we will think over the design. Okay. And after designing completion of this phase, we will go to the third stage, that is called the implementation. Okay. So here we will write the coding part, implementation. So after designing, here we will use a number of models for the designing purpose. Okay. And we will also apply the optimization techniques or conditions. So on each phase, we will use the optimization condition. Also the validation. Okay. We will check whether it is working properly or not. On each phase, we will check whether it is working properly as per requirement of the user, as per requirement of the organization. Okay. So implementation means just you are going to write or develop the code. You are going to write the code, that is called on the implementation part. Fourth, here you can see integration. Integration means whenever you will break your program or the software into number of units. Why we are going to break or dividing into several units? Because we can manage easily. We can test each and every unit in a user-friendly manner, or we can easily debug each unit. Okay, it is easy. And after that, we will combine all those units. If they are working properly, then we will integrate those. We will combine all those. And after that, we will check, or we can say test finally the product. So that is called the integration. And the fifth, here you can see validation. So just you are going to check system testing. Okay, here you are going to test final testing you will do. That is comes under the validation. Okay, so final testing of the product you will do here at this stage. That is the validation stage. And the last one is the deployment. You are already aware. We have already discussed this point. Deployment. Yes, you are going to launch your software here. So this is the criteria or the working principle of the waterfall model. How will you divide your implementation or the software into number of stages? Okay. So this is the working principle of the waterfall model. You are dividing your work into several phases: requirements, design, implementation, integration, validation, deployment. Okay. Now we can say here how these phases have the connectivity. Now you can see here requirements. Now the data is going to the design phase, and after that implementation, and after that integration and validation and deployment. Okay. Again, you can see here under the design, we will also concentrate over the plan and schedule. Okay. So under this stage, during the design process, we will plan and schedule. Okay. Then under the implementation, after the designing phase, you can replan and reschedule. Okay. That you can change the design before the implementation, means whenever you are going to write the course, and before that you can change the design here. You can replan. Okay. But after writing the coding, it is very difficult to replan and reschedule. Okay. So here you can replan and reschedule. Now you can see here again the connectivity. After the deployment, then again, if you want to validate or integrate or implement or design or requirement, now you can see the connectivity under the waterfall model. Okay, so this is the complete case and how they have the connectivity with each other. Now you can see here. Now another model, we will concentrate over the another model. After that, now here, if you have any question, you can ask up to here. Okay. Now, if any problem about the waterfall model to understand. Now, I'm also taking your attendance here. Until that, you have any question, then most welcome.
सर इसका मतलब
Yes.
सर यूनिट से सेंड कर दीजिए सर इसका
हाँ, वो तो करेंगे यार, नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल।
नहीं सर थोड़ा सा यही से सर आप कोई यूनिट पढ़ा रहे हैं तो आप उसको पहले ही भेज देना तो थोड़ा बहुत देख लेंगे तो थोड़ा सा अच्छा रहता है सर
हाँ, okay.
जी सर आपने
I think you are talking about the notes of the unit number first.
क्या सर
You need I think notes of the unit number first.
जी सर जैसे मतलब जैसे आप कोई भी यूनिट पढ़ा रहे हैं सर कोई सब्जेक्ट में तो
Hmm.
जैसे आप सेकंड यूनिट पढ़ा रहे हैं तो सेकंड यूनिट को सर आप उसका पीडीएफ पहले सेंड कर देंगे थोड़ा बहुत सर आप देख लेंगे तो थोड़ा बहुत मतलब आइडिया हो जाता है
कौन है, इरशाद बोल रहे हैं क्या?
जी सर
हाँ, ठीक है, ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम। आई विल गिव यू the notes of first unit of operating system as well as the software engineering in advance. Okay, today I will try my best to give you at least one unit of either software engineering or operating system. And after 2-3 days, after preparation of the unit number first for the operating system, I will give you. Okay, so today I will try my best to upload the notes of unit number first of the software engineering.
जी सर जज़ाकल्लाह
Okay, okay. Now this is another model that is called the V model. So in this case, you can see the diagram here. This is the block diagram for the V model, and in preceding slides, you have already seen the block diagram for the waterfall model. Okay, so here you can see we will start from the requirement analysis. So this is the first phase. Here also the requirements. Okay, and this here you can see. So there is a only little bit difference because the criteria is different because this is developed by another software engineer. So this is the V model. Now here we can see this is the requirement phase, requirements analysis. So first we will write what is the requirement for a particular software which we are going to develop. So we will do the query with the organization that what type of software you want to develop. Okay, so this will come under the this first phase that is called the requirement analysis. And after that, we will go again like the preceding one, system design. Okay, here the system design, and here again the designing phase is divided, the system design as well as the program design. So this is only the difference, but the work is same. You can say the criteria is a little bit different, but what we are going to develop, the we can say the final position is same. Okay, the final step is same. So we will do the requirement analysis, then system design, program design, and after that, here you can see coding. Okay, we will write the coding. We will write the program in the high level language, whatever we are using the language. And after that, this phase, again, we can say the unit and integration testing. Okay. So here again, we are going after writing the coding part, we will going to divide the whole software into number of units. Okay. Why we are going to divide into number of units? Because it is easy to manage. We can easily test those small units. Okay, it is easy to manage. And after that, we will combine all those units into one, okay, into one block. So that after combination, we will get a big unit, or we can say the whole software. And after that, again, we will do the system testing. Okay, so here we are going to do the uh, test the whole system, that is the whole software. And here you can see one more stage, acceptance testing. After testing the complete software, just here we are validating. Okay, in case of the waterfall model, here we have the validation. In case of the acceptance testing, we have this block, and there was written here the validation. And mm, just here we are using another word in English, that is the acceptance testing. Okay, so we will do here acceptance testing, and after that, operation and maintenance. Okay, that is here deployment, but in this case, just we can see the operation and maintenance. And this, in this case, you can see this have the interfacing, the unit and integration testing with the program design, so that here testing, we can suppose we have some sort of errors, then we can change here, okay, easily. So this has the interface with the program design. So we will again verify the design, okay, because we can see here that we are not fulfilling the criteria or the specification of the particular organization. Then we will again change our program design, and we will verify that design, okay. And here you can see this acceptance testing means finally our software is okay. Okay. Why is it okay? Now you can see here, because it has the connectivity with this validate requirements. Just we are validating, we are saying that it is working properly, it is okay as per requirement analysis. Okay. At the initial stage, what what the we can say the requirement by the organization or the demand of the organization, it is working properly as per the requirement of the organization. So just we are validating the requirement. Okay. So as per requirement of the organization, or as per the specification of the organization, we can say it is okay. And after that, we will launch this software, or we will hand over to the
सर
particular organization. Yes.
सर वो 940 से जाहिद सर की क्लास
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. No problem at all.
सर वो
Just
मैसेज कर रहे हैं
okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Message करें.
Thank you. You can join there. No problem.
अपलोड कर दीजिएगा सर यूट्यूब
Okay. Just I will upload. Okay. Now you can join there.